All right, my brother Griff, we should be live right now.
All right.
Let me see what's going on my YouTube page. Let me turn this down. Shout out to everybody in the chat room.
Hold on, let me snatch some scissors real quick.
All right. It's going to be we're not going to be on here too long tonight, family. Me and Griff going to pay respect to Dr. Afrika. I want to show you guys, I want to play a video from Dr. Afrika's wife, Dr. Melanin Stevenson. And I want to let my audience know how they could contribute to his legacy and make a donation via Cash App or PayPal. We're going to talk a little bit about his legacy, and we will wrap it up. So with that being said, shout out once again to everybody in the chat room. What's going on in there? Derwin Evans, Jay Driss, Lavone, everybody in the chat, shout out. All right, let's get this going, Professor Griff. Let me start out by, let me play this video. I got on this black hoodie and this Yankee hat. I look like a NYPD detective right now.
Hey, that's how they looking now. Thanks for letting us know.
This black hoodie, like, damn, I'm looking.
We don't even know what they looking like right now.
All right, so yeah, let me play this video, family. Let me just get this up and going. Where did you go?
Oh wow!
It's on your screen, right, Griff?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Melanin Stevenson. I am the wife of Dr. Llaila, Afrika. And I'm sorry to tell you that he has made his transition to rebirth. I wanted to come to you and let you know firsthand that it was not the FBI or the CIA. He lived life on his own terms, and he transitioned on his own terms. He told me to tell you guys that he lived 74 Black years. And that's a little bit more than what the average has to live. He said it's not the quantity of life, but it's the quality of life. And he had a great quality of life. We appreciate all of your support and all of your love. He wanted me to tell all of his students that it's time for his soldiers to rise up and to live out everything that they know and that they've been taught so they can heal our culture. I am so sorry that I have to bring this information to you. He would like me to carry on his legacy, and that I shall do. His website, everything is still up and going. His supplements and everything are still uncompromised. I appreciate all your support and your donations. We love you. Dr. Afrika loved you. He showed you that. He spent lots of time writing these books, doing these lectures, and traveling all over the country. So for myself and my late husband, we love you. And we'll just talk, I'll talk to you soon, and just let Dr. Afrika, let his legacy live on, you know. Don't let what he did be in vain. I will keep all of you updated on his memorial service, which we know that it will be within a few months because of everything that's going on in the world. But you'll definitely be posted, and I'm actually open to having memorials in more than one place because I know that, you know, Dr. Afrika was loved and is loved all over. So we'll visit that a little later, but just I'll keep you posted in social media to let you know when the first memorial service will be held. And again, thank you for your support, and I love all of you. My name is Dr. Melanin Stevenson. I'm the wife of
Give me a second. Okay. Griff, you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Once again, family, that's Dr. Melanie Stevenson, the wife of the late, great Dr. Llaila, Afrika. I guess what stood out to me, one of the things at least that the Queen just talked about is that Dr. Afrika talked about living a quality life, not just quantity, but a quality life. He lived 74 Black years. A lot of times, Professor Griff, when people hear about Dr. Sebi's or the Dr. Afrikas or the Dick Gregory's, the brothers that are in the health, when they hear about them passing away, the first thing they might say is, hey, he's a vegan, or hey, he's supposed to be in the health. Why is he passing away at 70 something? Why didn't he live? Queen Elizabeth is 90, or so-and-so, this white person is 97. Well, how come they passed away at 74? And people, you know, they really don't understand that aspect. So let's start out with that, Professor Griff. Talk to me about the quality of life and not necessarily and being healthy and living a quality lifestyle, not necessarily living to be 120, and the confusion that surrounds that right there, Griff.
Well, Brother Rich, you can live a life of that's a quality life and not necessarily have to live 100 years, 200 years. Of course, we know the people of old lived longer because the earth was different. The soil was different. There was no chemtrails. There was no fluoride and all this other stuff that was impeding life. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to look at it and basically take it for what it is. These individuals, the three that you mentioned, the Dr. Sebi's, the Dick Gregory's, and Dr. Llaila Afrika, they're still human though. You understand what I'm saying? These individuals are still human, and they live the quality life. As far as the quantity of it, how long they live, you know, something we're taught, man, in certain cultural circles, that we choose when to go on to the next realm. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Dr. Melanie said it. She says he lived life on his own terms. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And then even from one aspects of what I'm hearing on how he transitioned, it's like it was definitely on his own terms. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't die slipping off a bar stool at the bar. He didn't die slipping on $100 bills after they've been oiled by some strip at the club. He didn't die in line at Popeyes or so. You understand what I'm saying? That wasn't the degree of his life. He had a quality life. He raised the vibrational pitch of his thinking and his spirit and his vibration to live the quality life. And he put it in books and in herbs and formulas and passed it on to us. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's up to us to kind of take that and live the quality life that he saw for us. When you say quantity, let us both, you and I, ask that question to one another. If we pass tomorrow, did we live that kind of life, that it was a quality life? Or because we vegans and we trying to eat right and trying to do right, should we live to be 100? No one's guaranteed that. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone is given kind of like their due date, man. And most of us are unaware that from the time that you're born, all right, you're working towards that particular due date. It's everything that we do in between that time. So I don't think we should look at it as though just because you're a vegan and just because you're living that vegan or holistic lifestyle, and just because you're a lot more natural than the average person. A lot of people watching this might say, oh man, my grandmother ate pork and smoked weed and drank and smoked cigarettes, and at least she lived to be 105. Okay, granted, she may not have lived the quality life, but she lived a long life. That is up to, between her and the Creator. We can't step in and say when it's time for any individual to go. It's in kind of like almost embarrassing, Brother Rich, that we have to have that conversation about a man who gave us so much, because babies die, Brother Rich. My sister, you know, she died in the hospital giving birth to my niece. You understand what I'm saying? And it's almost like, did she live the quality or the quantity that we expected for her to live? Probably not, man. But when it was time for her to go, she was called back home. You understand what I'm saying? So, Brother Rich, let's look at it like Dr. Melanie said. The quality is the thing, whether we live 30 years or 300 years. I think it's the quality, not the quantity. I'd rather live a quality life than to live to be 100 sick. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
70 years old, you could barely walk. 80 years old, you bedridden. No, let me tell you something, man. That brother was strong. We was playing around one day, man. I'm like, yo, I ain't messing with it, dude. For real, man. That brother was seriously, he was in shape and he was strong, man. The brother was cut too.
Yeah, brother.
So yeah, so I don't know what these people talking about. I wasn't messing with dude, for real. Yeah, it was a good, he had a beautiful spirit though, and funny as hell, man.
Oh, hilarious.
I mean,
what stood out most to you about him? What was it? His humor? What stood out most to you about Dr. Afrika?
I think his humor in the face of, he could be in front of 200 people and he's being very funny but serious at the same time. And I think he developed that because a lot of times what he did have to say was very serious. So he kind of cloaked it in humor. And I think it came across really beautiful and really, really warm, and it was received that way. I received it that way. Me, Erica Badu, and a few other people took his course. I never finished it. I'm not sure if Erica finished it, but I never got a chance to finish it. His teacher training. It was intense, man. It was really intense, and he was definitely about the business of educating our people and passing this on, man.
Once again, family, if you would like to donate to Dr. Llaila Afrika's legacy, in my description, I have the brother's Cash App as well as PayPal. For the international listeners out there, you can hit up the PayPal, and if you're within the States, hit up the Cash App or whatever you prefer. But definitely show support to a brother that sacrificed so much and changed the paradigm in terms of health. Yeah, I was telling the people yesterday, man, Griff, Nutricide was one of the first books I ever got on health once I became conscious, man. And the brother knew how to communicate complex things in such a simple manner that me being 20 years old, I understood whether I chose to listen to it or not. I understood white sugar, white milk, white bread. I understood all that, the dangers of all that. So I definitely appreciate that about him. But did you got Nutricide, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was mandatory reading in the circles I was operating in.
Okay.
And even when I started meeting other martial artists and we started talking about health and diet and that kind of thing, they really wasn't with the vegan thing, man. Most martial artists I know are not. Most boxers are not. It's very rare that you see someone in professional sports that's a vegan, because the American diet is forced on us, and you have to have these 3 square meals. You got to have meat to get protein and blah, 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 blah. And this is the stuff that they force on you. So it was rare during that particular time, after going through that book with several people, not in sports, but to have that conversation with martial artists and people that are in sports, and they weren't trying to hear it at all. They don't care who was saying it. Which is a whole different dynamic, because who are those professional athletes that are vegans?
Right.
Who are those martial artists that are vegans? When I was coming up studying different styles of martial artists, it's only when, and this is, I'm not taking a shot at my brothers and sisters, please, y'all don't take this the wrong way. It wasn't until I went among the Chinese with studying Wing Chun, White Crane, Wushu, that I had to get put on a vegetarian diet. because they accept you in as family once you belong to their little martial arts club, and you eat with them and that kind of thing. And I'm introduced to a whole nother, they says, nah, you're not eating sandwiches, Big Macs and Burger King and that kind of stuff up in here. Nah. And the beautiful thing about that, it taught me a whole different aspect about the culture that the martial arts came out of after Africans delivered that package. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful culture because you get one bowl of rice, Brother Rich, and all of the other things that's concerning the meal, whether it's all kind of vegetables are in the middle of the table, and you share the food, and you have conversation. You actually, converse over the meal.
Indeed. Let's talk a little bit about melanin, Professor Griff. Something that Dr. Llaila Afrika talked about. He had a book called African Holistic Health, and a lot of times self-awareness gets looked at as being racist. And what I mean by that is the study of melanin. Just to say you're studying melanin, a lot of people will look at it like, wait a minute, you're trying to say you're better than everybody else or this and that. And as a people, we have to understand that there's just things that's different about us from other people. It may be how we react to milk. It may be how we react to sunlight. It may be how our hair reacts to certain things, water or whatever. And Dr. Afrika wasn't scared to approach health from a Black perspective and approach it from a melanin perspective, and not afraid of, whatever anybody had to say. So talk to me about, back then in his time, approaching health from an African holistic perspective and how that might have been for him back then, Professor Griff.
Well, Brother Rich, let's understand it from this perspective. And let's look at it through the lens of Dr. Llaila Afrika. He was about to approach a body of work that he's been undertaking for a long time, and he had to deliver it to a people that was relatively blind, deaf, and dumb when it came to diet. Before him, we can name the few people that have even written books concerning health. So he had to be able to deliver that body of work. And then to get us to understand melanin, can you imagine trying to, like right now, brother, you are charged with the task of educating your child, you and your mate, right?
Yes, sir.
Certain subjects you're gonna have to say, okay, now how am I gonna get this body of work across to this beautiful life, that's growing. And in stages, you got to say, okay, now I can drop this on them. Now I think they might be able to handle that. So let's look at it through Dr. Llaila Afrika's lens. He had to teach us with things that we already knew. The lesson that I got from him in reference to melanin, when I heard him say that melanin lines the entire body, all of the organs of the body. We react to food differently. So I'm listening to him. He says, especially with hip hop, with music. And so now I'm really listening. He says, when we hear the sound, we hear the full range of the sound because melanin lines the ear. He says, even when you're dancing, and you might heard me say it in my lecture, even when you're dancing and the DJ take the beat out and we still rocking, because we've recorded the vibrational sound inside of the melanin and we can still rock. The DJ could put the beat back in 2 minutes later and we still on beat. That's that melanin. He says we hear the full range of the music, the lowest of low and the highest of high, and everything in between, including the silent sound. I said, wow. He says, when we see things different because the dark eyes are the more healthier eyes. The light eyes are the weaker eyes. But because of the melanin, we able to see things. You don't find us having weak eyesight and that kind of thing like other people. The whole idea, I think he was giving me the example of biting into an apple. He says, but because we have melanin, when we bite into the apple, we taste the full range. This is why when we go in the kitchen and you see grandma doing anything and she constantly tasting the food, yeah, that's interacting with her melanin. You understand what I'm saying? This is why they say that we have soul in everything that we do. You understand what I'm saying? You could have a brother at the Waffle House cooking. He got his headset on, he got hip hop on, and he making waffles and he flipping. You understand what I'm saying? That's that melanin. We able to do 3 or 4 things at one time and making that because the melanin is working in every single organ and it's working with us. Now, those of us that talk the melanin but walk something else, that melanin can also work against you. When we smoke weed, we smoke weed. Like we got the smoke. We got to smoke it out till the bag is empty smoking. We take it to the extreme. This is why they say black people are so extra. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to, but we jump higher. And I'm sure you already noticed even with the NBA. They had to make the court long. I'm not sure if you noticed, but they made the courts longer. And when we started dropping them anytime we wanted to, they created this thing called the 3-point line, and they raised the rim. Did you know that, Brother Rich?
No, I didn't.
They created the 3-point line, and brothers started knocking them down. And then they had to raise the rim because brothers was just jamming all kind of different ways. Wow. Floating from the top of the key, doing their taxes. You understand what I'm saying? They was doing all kind of things, but because of the melanin. Because of the melanin. And we didn't know what that was. We just thought that was just kind of natural. That's just who and what we are. Until Dr. Llaila Afrika came along. And I'm not saying that he was the only one to talk about that. I'm just saying he put it in a way that you and I got it. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? He put it in such a way and he wrapped it in a package that was digestible, man. And we understood melanin. Not only that, the whole idea of the way we think, why we think what we think, and then connecting to the cosmic forces, which is melanin, that black doorway. We able to go and come back, Brother Rich.
Thanks.
Then when I heard him talking about the dream state and that kind of thing, I said, okay, that him along with Dr. Valentine, I was like, all right, let me. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I got to do a little bit more studying for real.
In terms of what do you think about, everything he taught, and it's, it's related to what we're going on right now with our immune system, the coronavirus, just the health scare that's going on, the pandemic that's going on right now, whether, it's exaggerated or it's not exaggerated. So many people are impacted in so many different ways. Talk to me about what's going on right now with health, my brother.
I think the thing that's being put on us, when I say us, I'm talking about the human family. I think just in a nutshell, let me get the Llaila Afrika piece that's been running through my spirit ever since I heard he transitioned. The brother left us with something to work with, to defend ourselves against any virus or any disease. Only if we would take the books down off the shelf. Only if we would continue to pass the DVDs around and pass the YouTube clips around of this brother teaching. He left us with enough to defend ourselves from whatever is going on. And I think Dr. Melanin said he left on his own terms, and he left us the body of work. And he said, listen, I gave you what I could give you. I got a different kind of work to do right now. Maybe you won't get it until I transition. You understand what I'm saying? But he left us with enough to get and push forward to get past this these different viruses. But what's going on in the world today is very critical, simply because from where we are standing and viewing how this thing is unfolding, it almost looks like it's way beyond a virus, man. Because why would tanks be rolling down the street? Why would they had to unleash the National Guard in major cities if it's only, if people are staying home, and some are, why would you have to send the National Guard out if it's only a virus? Why can't they be very upfront, transparent, and honest? First, they were talking about it was a virus and it was a new virus. And then when I start seeing brothers putting up the human coronavirus on the back of Lysol cans and all this other kind of stuff. They say this is not new. My antenna went up. Then I heard from Dr. Aline from the former minister in the nation. Then I heard from a few other people. Then I said, okay, let me go over the other side of the fence. Let me hear what other people are talking about, them other people. And then I said to myself, exactly what I thought. They're trying to force this vaccination on everyone. And they need the boogeyman to do it. So now, and this is also the test run, Brother Rich. This is just Professor Griff. This is not etched in stone. I'm just saying, Brother Rich asked me a question and I'm answering it. So I don't want people to say, well, Professor Griff said, and y'all make it law. No, I think that this is the test run. This is the test run to see 5G test run. This is the quarantine test run. This is to see whether or not we can shut down schools, colleges, and the workforce to see whether or not how many people we can have at home. This is the vaccine test run to see whether or not how many people we're going to let back in school without having vaccines, back at work without having vaccines, back on in different places. I don't care if it's the post office or the Waffle House or wherever. I think this is forced vaccination as high as it's on this quarantine thing is population control. And I think this is way beyond the virus, man. Some people are not taking it serious. I think we should. There's a friend of mine, Omari Bakshir, and I want to send the condolences to not only Llaila Afrika's family, but Omari Bakshir's family. His sister died today, man. Died today from the coronavirus. And I'm talking about, sometimes, Brother Rich, you hear people dying, but it's somebody that you really don't know.
Right.
This is somebody that, this is 2 people away from me. This is my dude. His sister died. Right. So I'm like, wow, man, this is like real. It hit me in my chest today. He says, yo, you know something? This thing is real, man. But the way we conduct ourselves and live our lives, it's almost like the first things I started hearing with washing your hands and this, that, and the other. Man, I've been giving knuckle bumps and daps and check. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell civilized people to wash their hands. You understand what I'm saying? But I do have to admit, man, I was in Columbia, Missouri with the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and we was teaching. We had the responsibility of teaching the entire district, the middle schools and high schools. And that's where I got caught when the coronavirus thing hit. And it's middle America. So it was kind of like encroaching into middle America. And you didn't hear too many cases about middle America because it wasn't there yet, because the people really don't travel. They stay kind of like, you understand what I'm saying? But it's the people that was coming to colleges and schools and going back home and traveling. You understand what I'm saying? And then I said to myself, we had to cut the tour short, and we had to come back home. And sure enough, Brother Rich, the 2 flights that I had to take home was empty, and people were still coughing and all kind of things, all kind of stuff. I came through Atlanta airport, which they said 1 million people come through there a day. It was empty, bro.
Empty, yeah.
Like it was literally empty. And I just said to myself, okay, this is really, 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 really serious, man. So, Brother Rich, what we're experiencing now is basically going to be the new normal. We're not going to go back to what we considered normal before.
Right.
This is going to be the new normal, this social distancing. Well, I said, well, I ain't really hang out with a lot of people any old way. So the social distancing thing didn't really mean anything to me. But I'm like, I'm a Leo, I'm a people's person, and I want to be able to be among people, good people. And yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. So when I just my last point, when I started hearing the NBA shut down, NHL, Disney, and then as you know, Brother Rich, I'm supposed to get the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys, April 19th. That got canceled. Cats that I know, tours got canceled. Coachella, South by Southwest. I said to myself, okay, yeah, this is real, man. This is real.
Let me see what kind of clip, just so we could Get a brother some light. This is on Dr. Melanie Stevenson Instagram once again. Family, once again, I can't stress enough, the link in the description is how you can contribute to his legacy. It's PayPal or Cash App. Either or, family, either or. Let's play a clip from Dr. Afrika real quick. Let's see what's going on. The sound's not playing. I don't know what I did wrong. Yeah, maybe that don't have sound. Yeah, I just wanted to play a clip for the family, but something's wrong with the audio, family. But listen, me and Griff ain't going to be on here too long today. I guess the last question before we get out of here, Griff. When you see Dr. Melanie Stevenson and you seen Dr. Afrika and you seen them do lectures together, and, you know, a lot of times, you know, we have a lot of brothers and sisters in our community who talk about the importance of family, but we don't get to see it through them. And it's powerful when you get to see a speaker that talks Black empowerment and you see them with their significant other. It just hits different. It has a different kind of effect. It hit different. It affects us differently. And I mean, that sister was by his side holding him down. Whenever he came to New York, that sister was putting in work. Whenever he came to New York.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about that what you seen between Dr. Afrika and Dr. His wife, Dr. Melanie Stevenson.
I think the beautiful thing about that was the fact that you're absolutely correct. To say it is one thing. To walk it out and to live it is another. To support one another's goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations is a beautiful thing. And when I seen the sister, you know, come out with her body of work, I was like, wow, man, that must be beautiful and empowering to have somebody to have your back like that, that could see this thing through to the point where, you know, you could see her growing.
Yeah.
You understand? Right before our eyes, like, wow. And you could see how almost like, and this is kind of eerie for me, but almost like he was preparing her to carry this on. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Which is a beautiful thing, man. And just to see it, man. A lot of people said they saw it with Michelle and Barack Obama, which is a beautiful thing. But my thing is to see it with Llaila Afrika and Dr. Melanie. It was beautiful simply because it was on a level that we can understand, because even though they were at the level they were still grinding. Thanks to King Simon and other people that kind of constantly brought them in, who was pulling on them to come and educate and teach so he can bring them and put them in front of the people. That's a beautiful thing, man, to see, man. And then the information was on point. I traveled back to Maryland with them several times, man. And yeah, the energy among them two, she's like, it's like, wow, yeah, you're not gonna vibrate low being around them. And he walked the talk, man. He walked it out. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a beautiful thing, man. Our condolences definitely go out to everyone that's in their family, especially Dr. Melanie. We will definitely keep the legacy of Dr. Llaila Afrika alive. Rest assured that we will. We have to be the living embodiment of it, though. We got to say, I'm healthy because of the Llaila Afrikas and the Dr. Sabis and the, you understand what I'm saying? And the Dick Gregory's and the Dr. Whitakers and the Queen of Fools and everyone else that's teaching this holistic health to keep us healthy. Because when you teach that, Brother Rich, and I've learned that from just being in the marriage that I'm in, that it's a really, really, truly unselfish kind of work to formulate and put formulas together to think about someone else's health. They could easily put it together for themselves. And I'm not saying that just because my wife does that, because the kitchen is actually her the doctor's office. You You understand what I'm saying? If I just clear my throat, she says, "You all right? Hold on for a second," and go whip it up. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But to have someone that with that kind of knowledge to put formulas together for someone else, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's like you teaching somebody and giving them life on how to sustain their life, man. It's a lot different than, it's almost like I'm teaching people martial arts and I'm teaching them how to defend themselves. They will probably never have a fight in their life. But for a man and a woman to be together, to put together formulas and to teach other people about how to take care of themselves, to live a lot, most of us will probably live a lot longer. You understand what I'm saying? Because of them. But for them to give us that, that's a beautiful thing. You're talking about, that's just, yeah, that's giving of a lot, man, to be honest with you, bro.
For real, man.
Yeah, it truly is, man. I see my wife with the goggles on and the gloves on, stirring stuff up, man. And I'm going in the pantry and there's jars with, and I'm like, okay, I'm not even gonna go in there no more because I don't know what half this stuff is. I'm gonna let her do her thing. But it's really thinking not only of herself, but thinking of us. And I think the best way I could put it is we are a part of her and she's a part of us. We're a part of them because she's taking care of us. They are taking care of us like we're part of them. It's almost like they're feeding themselves the remedies and the formulas. And it's like, wow, we're healthier because of the Llaila Africas of the world. When most of us refuse to read Nutricide and the book on Melanin and his other work. And even one of the latest ones he put out in reference to dealing with children.
Yeah.
It's like when most of us wouldn't read it, he turned around and did the 2 or 3 hour lecture. That was his commitment, man. You understand what I'm saying? And a commitment indeed, man. And he did it until he decided to leave.
Right. Indeed.
One last thing. How many of us, this is money, moon, chlorophyll, water. This wouldn't have been possible a minute ago because we wouldn't have been drinking this a minute ago, right or wrong, if it wasn't for the Llaila Africas of the world.
Yeah.
Even, the miracle emerald greens, forgotten foods, and other people would not have built their companies if it wasn't for the Llaila Africas of the world. Come on, man. That statement is true. We're healthier because of them.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Once again, family, we are paying respect to my brother, the late, great Dr. Llaila Afrika. I told you yesterday, the last time I interviewed the brother was in Nicholas Bookstore in Brooklyn. It was a great interview. We was talking about marijuana and health, marijuana, and something else. I forgot what else we was talking about, but it was a great interview. And, rest in power to the brother. This is Professor Griff. Brother Rich, what y'all doing in the chat? Let me see what y'all got going on in the chat, man. All right, peace to the chat room. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, anybody that came in late, you could go to the links in the description if you would like to donate to Dr. Afrika's legacy, Cash App, $CharlesChild, or PayPal. You can click on the PayPal link as well. With that being said, Griff, why don't you leave your contact info for the people, my brother?
Okay, people can contact me at 678-557-2919. That's 678-557-2919. I also want to let the people know they can email me at seriousmindsinfo@gmail.com. I'm getting my website up, the business website up to the point where it's functional and people can come on so they can get a direct link to the alternative Black studies course that I'm offering. But it's on my site, www.professorgriff.me. That's www.professorgriff.me. And of course, Soleil started her course, man, and I'm very proud of her. And women flock to it, man, and it's a beautiful thing that women are interested in becoming whole again and healing, bro. And it's a beautiful thing to see that many women that are coming together and healing themselves in order to carry on this work, because we can't do it without the sisters, bro. You already know that, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. So once again, 678-557-2919. So Brother Rich, I got a book coming out. It's called Griff, Get the Green, Black, and Red In. All right. So get the green, black, and red in for real. It'll be done in a minute, man. I wanted to have it ready for the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award thing.
Yeah.
Since that got pushed back, it's giving me a little bit more time to finish the book. It's going to be a different kind of book. I'm going to deal with some of the aspects of a different view on how people just kind of don't see me. They don't see me with the suit and the tie on at the college. They don't see me handling different races of people in the educational field at the school and that kind of thing. So I want them to hear a few of those talks and a few of those lectures and what I have to say in reference to academia. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a different kind of Griff I'm gonna present.
Yeah, man. Can't wait. Can't wait for that. Everybody stay tuned for that, for my brother, Professor Griff.
All right.
And, I guess on that note, Griff, we're going to see y'all next Monday night, 11 o'clock, y'all. This is Professor Griff, Brother Rich, and we signing out, family. Peace.
Peace.